Can I talk to you for a second, bro?
Yeah, man,
Bro.
what's up?
Yo, let me tell you, man. Your energy on stage is just incredible, man. I mean, I'm really feeling you, bro. It's just, I mean, if you want to make it, I mean, I'm no record producer or anything, but if you want to make it, you gotta like get a little less serious and just kind of party it up, bro. But I'm telling you, I loved your shit, man. I loved you, bro. I really. Can I buy you a drink? Can I buy you a beer?
That's alright. I don't drink, man.
All right, man. I'm gonna go have one.
Okay, dude. Cool.
Hey Harry, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Long time.
Doing, man? Yeah.
How's it been? I felt you up there. That was tight.
Yeah. It's
For real.
Cool, man.
You know though, I just don't understand why the whole open mic
you a
thing.
dumb motherfucker.
I'm not down with the whole open mic
Can't help
thing.
you, stupid. So.
But I mean, you should write a book though. That would be perfect.
Yeah. That's nice.
Poetry.
It's my thing, you know.
Okay, well, whatever.
All right. Yeah, thanks. You lie to me and tell me you understand. How could you? When I can't even take one glimpse or find the least bit of sense. This is more than poetry. This is more than me. Some say that this is all that could be, yet it is all that is. Some fail to accept the fact that being humble is being truthful. Collections of words sounding so beautiful could not possibly come from the fingertips of a mere mortal's hand. I have written all I could ever be, and still so many see me as nothing until I recite. In my reality, I pay off store cards. I explain the metaphors as an old relationship's battle scars. Tattooed across my heart are wounds some women chose not to heal, chose not to ask how I feel, chose to see me as the object of an eccentric person's stare. I wonder what went on through their mind when they watched me write. I wander down dark, seclusive roads with no direction on an insomniac's drive. I fear sleep. I'm scared it may destroy what could have been my best day, overlooked. I ask myself time after time how I could have ever married, she believing herself to be the lion tamer. Yet I still roar, yet I still prowl. Yes, I am still on the hunt. I am still serving those like you, the servitude as my ancestors used to. Expected to play the court gesture, town fool, when stupidity outrules common sense, thought of as taboo around these parts. I raise volumes, entire epics, speak to teach, speak to preach, speak to become free, speak to just be. These notepads become my earth, each movement to this pen, a rebirth. Who believes in this poetry? Raise your hand. Hands down. Cause too many of you are still accepting colonial lifestyles in your homes, drowning out tribal ceremonies in your domes, becoming clones, spitting the same negative, pessimistic shit. Every other act is just that. I am no actor. Mind over matter. Mind what matters. You don't mind matter. So matter breaks, becoming unexistent. Especially when music programs every action. Entertained by exploiters, voyeurs, getting off on accepting all that is. Open your mouth, speak out. A prolonged silence will end a company of authority. I am unauthorized and borderless. You speak into the courtless, same topics, and forget who the fuck you are. Yes, we are all one and the same, but when we all act the same, we learn nothing. For without knowing your story, what have you taught me? We are all supposed to learn from one another, and it seems the truth smothers from crowds that don't feel you until you release from paper, dance, toss props, run off stage, perform without a mic, and use sign language, just recite your fucking piece. And when someone doesn't praise you and all they can do is remain silent, taunt you, or dismiss you, that's when you have truly been heard. That's when you have truly reached someone. Receiving no love on this stage right here is when you were felt the most. You may not know, but everything you just said just touched a hater's soul. It ain't about another sale, it ain't about who successfully prevails. See, true success is known best by the kind of people that chose to sleep outside in the pouring rain and throw that old tired-ass capitalistic inspired American dream away. I don't give a fuck what you came here for. Mostly what you don't want to hear is what you fear the most. Mostly what you didn't want to hear is what you needed to hear the most. And when you leave this stage, make sure to carry your self-respect with you. Try to leave everyone something to think about. Seems these days everyone wants to be a rapper or a model. 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 I want you to be what you are. Be it bag boy, fast food clerk, nurse, garbage man, lab technician. Hell, even a fucking cop. Don't let no motherfucker change you and rearrange the dreams you got. Do not, I repeat, do not, I repeat, do not, I repeat, do not, I repeat, do not repeat after me. Be you. No one respects some crumb snatching fool. I am happy with this. I am art. I am a poet. I can be a friend, a lover, he who helps you discover you. I can't support your kids financially. I can't promise you eternity. I can't even let you spend the night. Shit, I'm living with my parents again. I had a marriage start. Soon as we found our own place, eternal vows of race separation said the end. But I'm a nice guy, and I can try and make room for you here and there. But I have chosen no longer allow any other person from this day forth to stand in my way. Now, try and tell me, truthfully, you understand what I'm saying. This is self-expression. I am selfless, floating in an aquarium swarming with selfish. This was for me, but oh, so much more of it was for you. I love It seems so many people out there, reality only makes sense when everything real becomes senseless. Omniscient to the writings of poets and all other forms of musicians who have yet to trade in their compassion for gold, who have yet to cash in their soul for some meaningless overloaded ego about to explode. And when self-expression goes, and when self-expression goes, and when self-expression goes under reconstruction, it's edited and prettied up for the masses. So I'll be the one to ask this: what profit do you got? I'm sure your pocket's stocked, but how you gonna pick the lock of that mental block when you get caught in the system? Replace wisdom with lyrical venom, cleverly hidden in that same old song and dance rhythm as you up the bass and rap with the blinded vision. You have abandoned the mission. Realize that true sense won't come from the dollar when your shit starts to get hotter. How much did it take to buy you out? How much did it take to change an asshole into a mouth? Now I'm not here to battle, so step away from the mic. I've just seen too many reenactments done by the listener. Now I may be no better than you, and you may be no better than me, but I've noticed an altercation of the truth, and I've been sent here to seize you out of that fantasy and throw you back into reality. This shit's been done before, your script's been done before. So before you decide to spit the same old thing, I want you to study this lyrically crafted pain. The lifeless corpse of a preteen laying in a casket, shot up and left for dead by the bullets out of the gun from the hand of another young man who had your bullshit lyrics constantly repeats in his head, over and over till his heart turned colder, over and over till he reached for that holster, over and over. Seconds after, the gun went off, and he was wondering what the fuck this kid ever did in the first place to have his life erased. Erase that bullshit off your tape. You think it sounds great, but that wasn't the only mistake. See, the young girl, all she could do was anticipate her first date. That dream date turned into a nightmare. Did you care? Nah. You dare to refer to her as just another hoe that got raped. Then you got the nerve to focus on the same mind frame that the government's been focusing on for too long. Continuing the same game that's played players out for too long. Setting off the same covert war you speak about being against. Don't get so tense, don't act so dense. This is the effect of what comes next after someone pops your shit into the tape deck. Coming back with, man, parents gotta take responsibility, gain some sensibility. Well, they're out there breaking their back, you're breaking off another whack-ass track to their youth. Let me be the one to preach your shit needs a message. And if you don't know where you're headed, step out of the fast lane and seek direction. Speak with affection, don't try and go blaming another complexion, cause now you have absorbed another's hatred and begun to do the same shit to yourself. Resurrecting negative images, not even trying to erase them, to replace them with all you envy. Who is the real enemy? Just stare eye to eye with the mirror and you may just find this constant war with self won't offer anyone else any help. Search for peace in the cards that have been dealt, released from under that invisible belt. See, it doesn't matter what any other has to say. Listening to someone else judge you was your first mistake. There will only be one critical judgment, and by that time it may be too late to change. So change now. Come to pass, the mortals come past, trying to show you where to go. Have your words flow in the right direction. Never lose that compassion, never lose that affection. Always keep the masses guessing. Write your very own life story and stop repeating his. Stop beating pessimism into the minds of your kids just as you think negative. Reality only makes sense when it's senseless. Remember this, go with it, break it, reconstruct your mentality. Always carry your dreams even out of sleep. Change cocoon tombs into butterflies. Arise, hold your head up high and realize true sense will never come from the dollar, but your heart. Now, rhyme to that beat. Would another defeat silence he who speaks vital messages that a world needs to hear? Would another defeat silence he who speaks vital messages that a world needs to hear? Would another defeat silence he who speaks vital messages that a world needs to hear? I screamed thoughts and I screamed thoughts and I wanted to scream the thoughts by people who had something to say but were afraid, therefore plagued with silence. I wanted to tell them the tales of post-dreams previously seen captured on the giant screen, but I was told the mass only listens to the beat. The mass only hears the beat. The mass only hears those like us when we get beat. So I decided to speak. Fragments of a lost civilization, supremacists are birthed by this nation. My friends, these are words. Yes, these are words, 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 words that someone's got to teach. Words like self-sacrifice, personal salvation. Take time to distinguish the difference between fact and fiction, opinion and cover-up, truth from the untold, and last but not least, faith from fact. A crown of thorns, a box of nails, a wooden cross sticking out the trunk, a plastic head bobbing figurine of Jesus on the dashboard. Witness the amount of courage it takes to speak until the last one asleep awakes, while on the clock, day breaks. A standstill ceremony, daydream, work days, becoming hours of whispering wordplay, reality, dream, thought. Dear God, let us find some way to reverse this order.
Thought, dream, reality. Thought,
transgress,
dream, reality.
mental escape, all that is thought to be. Abstract in time, I'm caught between an hourglass and an alarm clock. An hourglass and an alarm clock. An hourglass and an alarm clock. Nothing stops time from slipping away. The aftermath will consist of a base providing two separate horizons. One settled for, the other to explore. Floors made into ceilings. How little are you feeling? How little are your feelings? How little are you feeling? How small are you feeling? Please, won't someone tell me how low is your barrier? I try to communicate through self-teaching forgotten. I'll try and make a point until all ballpoints run inkless. During these days there are a bad temper tantrum, adult phantoms fucking up my karma. But I remind myself that a bad response could possibly make this situation worse in days to come. And to anyone still listening, let me ask you, how many ways can we outrun the sun? And how many ways can we count the suns? And how many ways can we count on the sun? And how many ways can we outrun the sun? And how many ways can we count the suns? And how many ways can we count on the sun? And how many ways can we outrun the sun? How many ways can we count the suns? How many ways can we count on the sun? Till one day we get lost inside of our own planet and believe we, a simple poet, are a star. I only want to speak. Yes, I want to speak. I want to speak with fire. Yeah, I want to bring oceans into my commotion and find balance as I prepare to walk the tightropes that connect each and every lost soul to try and resurrect hope and reassurance. All for that one day we get placed on the final judgment, so I could explain that the path we take isn't always the path we set out to travel. You see, most of our time we ran blind and failed to see life for what it truly was, the world for what it truly was, these words for what they truly were, the world for what it truly was, and what it truly is and was. Well, none of us could have possibly provided the correct answer to what it was without taking a guess. See, I've erased race. See if you can do the same. I only go by one name. See if you can handle this sick, strange game where everything is abstract. Observe the crowd covered in war paint. They are trying to explain from whence all things came, yet failing to look back and feel the pain of strangers on foreign soil. Contrast societies. The term we means nothing without there being unity between you and me. I do believe it's time to refocus, to rethink, to re-examine the destructive steps we always seem to take with some sort of hope to restore peace. This civilization runs lost, flicking remotes to flick through channels, flipping souls one channels, morals of mortals, set out on daily routine journeys. Faith begins to fade in the distance, and in an instance is replaced only when it bears some sort of significance on the base of a troubled existence. Why do we live in such resistance of knowing happiness, loathing bliss, thirsting for blood, cursing true love, walking with lowered heads like we were scared to look above?
Don't turn away, my child.
It could all be so very, very simple. But unity seems to untie every time someone speaks their mind and offends the economic lifestyle of some pampered infant trapped in an adult's body. How ugly concepts in this world have become. Motivation gets beat like a drum, and still the destiny remains to be seen. Have we as human beings come to be such fiends? Losing every trait of righteousness just because those ways don't always seem to financially pay off? I feel potential messiahs arise daily, and still so many await the second coming. The dead fight for the title to re-enter as a child and change the style to one day blend in with those unaware of our past, which always seems to come back. The past, one passes, one comes. Study the sum and hum the sound, which becomes tantalizing to strangers, no more stranger than those kept closest to the heart for years. How hard fall those tears the day when that person disappears, then reappears as someone completely different. You see, my friends, every curse does have a cure. It's just they have yet to be completely explained through words, 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 word, 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 words, 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 words. How would you suggest that I end this poem? Is there even an end to this poem? Should there be an end to this poem? Did anyone even get into this poem? Was it even a poem? Was I a poem? Were you the poem? Maybe this poem, that poem. For now I'll drop my pen and leave it alone. But last, will there ever, truly, ever be an end to this poem?
I wish.
I screamed thoughts.
Would another defeat
silence he who speaks vital messages that the world needs to hear? Would another defeat silence he who speaks vital messages that the world needs to hear? Would another defeat silence he who speaks vital messages that the world needs to hear? Would another defeat silence he who speaks vital messages that the world needs to hear? I screamed thoughts. I screamed thoughts. I screamed thoughts through words, 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 word. When the last martyr speaks, there will be an awakening from these backwards mentalities passed down from generations, and we will come to the realization that we really did take some petty shit just a little too far. They will see how fiction and art slowly began to rip apart a reality that realistically not one of us knew the first thing about. They will see how TV's taught hypocrisy. All we blamed them for was the same that formulated the very core of our own Babylonian superstructure. Concrete, godless cities could never be considered the heartland. Blood on the hands of Uncle Sam began to stain this hand that was shook, and disorientated visions began to visualize the truth which lies in motel room bed secret meetings. This new world order, this self-righteous explorer, had our children dying over silver quarters. We were trapped in supermarkets arguing over the price of fish when the first bomb hit. We were decoys trying not authentic as plastic figurines, transfiguring into killers, disguised as saints with face paint and clown smiles, creating a media circus, disturbing the circuits during family reprogramming, teaching us who to hate, who to love, what to do, where to go, what rhythm to walk to, what style to walk it in, to the doors shutting behind us, to be concealed in a room with only one view where only one truth would cancel out the cries heard if you listen closely, thinking untaught thoughts, wondering if any mind readers notice me, wondering if they could keep a secret. Or would they tape record my private self-conversations, edit my words, and have me heard as a new enemy just because I refuse to wear a shirt with a flag on it? I, the disbelief of mortal worship with worship organizations of fire at the mouth and burn with fire on ice water. I, yes, he who walks tightropes, finding balance in the line of your mind, possessing the potential to be authentic once again. Remember when originality was at the table? Only to sit there till it got cold. I caught a cold, threw it in the stove, and wove thoughts into my mind to a memory it wouldn't be left behind when somebody told me to run from it. See, each and every passing day we become it. You are the light burning candles, not the candles that melt. You are the thought, the thinker, the ideology behind every great setting. Do you believe in people dying via dining? To feel safe will another soldier have to rape another Western slave and take advantage of the word following orders? Disorder caught on camcorders. Incidents everlasting, every final shot. Soon to be sold to cyberspace entitled What We Do for Our Country. Just call it What They Do to Other Countries. And some cheap motherfucker actually believes if we wipe out enough of these invisible enemies, we'll purchase gasoline just a little cheaper. Never understanding the true concept of how many sincere moments caught in those speeches will in time justify that cost of living. But there's a cost of giving, a cost of taking. And at all costs, my friends, let me ask, can we afford the cost of receiving? Another worm like fish, we've been hooked on fishing trips to Cape Cod, hooked on caffeine, nicotine, gasoline, porn queen, took like crack fiends, dope fiends, there go them dreams, replaced with diversion to help us forget who we are, never understanding who the casualties were. They gonna have enough obituaries to fill an entire paper, so they just gonna shorten it and simply state we are winning. But sadly, we won will show that we are not one, but millions of backstabs, carjacks, heart attacks, killers wearing masks, molestations of bubble baths, rats, traps, government tracks. That's where we are at. But we'll blame it on another spot on the map and feel a little bit better about our own shortcomings tomorrow. For a day, anyways. Give it another day, the unity will fade. The division will escalate. Christopher Columbus was a Republican. He was the inspiration for March 19, 2003 at 8 a.m. Fertile soil and golden trinkets have been resurrected as gasoline, sulfur, zinc, and other natural resources vital to this economy. And that's just a small part yet. How many people actually believe in a time where a president needed a reason to go to war? 3 suspects searched for about the last couple of Septembers were suddenly apprehended. Scare tactic blueprints, the evidence of kids targeted. Let's market a war. Not so hard to do when Black Hawk was such a box office smash hit. When a bomb goes off, it looks like the shit. But when a plane hit, this nation paused. It was like, oh shit. All this give and no return, the greatest excuse to pocket a little more of what we earned. Lessons to learn, we die for countries, we die for flags, we die for cash, we die for gas. And I cry for these mortals believe in their gods. And now we hate the French because they believed in peace. And now we hate Korea because they fear for what we might do. And people, I love you. Please do not misinterpret my choice of topic, my voiced opinion, my trust in some, distrust in others. This goes to show a president can be far more dangerous than any mythical dictator, cause you got some people following this motherfucker like he's a god. And I am lost. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. King James is at it again, tampering with ancient scrolls, redirecting good souls, readmitting the power of control. Soul stole from black gold, Texas tea, y'all. Jeff and his family hiding out in Beverly Hills, that is. He kills the kids and uses eye for an eye, but his third eye spies were already blind to attacks before that Trade Center ever went down. But we will in time be justified. There is no place to hide, Mr. Supremacist. There is no place to hide, Mr. Extremist. There is no place to hide, Mr. Conform. There is no place to hide, Mr. Conformer. And they missed her once again. Mother, please tell your children it's okay to cry. Teach them the value on a human's life. They were wrong, but we were wrong. Let us take the blame for our own mistakes. Hate is not the antidote for peace. Hate only formulates into beast. I pray for everyone. Those I pray for pass more borders than man will ever know. There they go, 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 there they go. What honest reason? Who knows? A sense of security? Western supremacy? Another star on our flag? Once again we've been had. But remember, people, I love you. During the spiritual walkings of a labeled madman, social lambs are led for slaughter by justice peg-legged stand. Justice said it stood for all, but I recall being mauled by police dogs last month. As for you all, no need to pause, they worship you like a god. 12 billfolds into empty souls, the cash holes, assuming disciples rose, and I walked road to the old. New foes arose, I rose out the rose, evil out of beautiful clothes, strike a pose, then vogue the freak show. Oh, say can, oh, say can, oh, Satan, oh, say can you see, oh, Satan, oh, say can you, oh, Satan, you say can, oh, say can you see, oh, Satan, you see, oh, say can you see, say can you see, I am trapped inside of a superficial, materialistic, political holding cell. In fear of speaking what it is, I must tell. Many religions I pass off as superstition to arise from. Come on, how many of you actually believe there is only one right one? Yes, I've carried faith, but you see my mind is open. Too many people fall victim to the mind rape and keeping thoughts closed in. They criticize another, claiming his soul is lost with the state so tightly tied they wasted time allowing a holocaust. But this wasn't the first. Remember back when the land was pure, before supremacist explorers set foot upon our tribe's dirt, erasing God's land, although state now was their civilization process for small pieces of gold worn around necks. They reported back to that bitch they referred to as a queen. Came again the second time, dropped the Christian maker disguise, taking the native language and culture, never to reach my tongue. Now all that's taught is redone, 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 and yes, once again redone, to justify these invasions, to justify slave trade organizations. Those with open eyes that see through and realize these misinterpretations usually fall in the hand of the same man and believe he was one of the chosen. If so, God said, what to do with all the past evidence, such as invasions with massacres, slavery, witch huntings, cross-runnings, twisted sexual sick yearnings, and I'm supposed to sell my soul, giving up the will to think about this, told, never to question, see. This society was created by demons. Now every strip of this once untouched land is haunted by victims of the past screaming. Look at your own hateful morals, persecuting those who look and think different than you, condemning homosexuality, still practicing segregational acts, now running more mental stats, polluting the subconscious of the consumer, polluting the subconscious of the consumer, polluting the subconscious of the consumer, polluting the subconscious of he who consumed her. Fooling them into believing they must look like you to be accepted. Low self-esteems are planted in the brain cells of the females, especially those who do not fit to the tone of a milky pale complexion. I'm jumping from one thing to another, but you see these motherfuckers that make me lose my mind. Disease nuts with fear by eating animal massacred, hunting our lost companions to sport. They say it's over and we are no longer manifesting. Then name me just one American president who held a darker complexion than the worn, hooded, and robe sheets supported by inbred, redneck, unbathed Jerry Springer freaks. I ain't making sense of most who do not know what the fuck is going on. Too conscientious to allow thoughts to spawn and take them beyond the fashionable, acceptable role. Many have lost their soul and know it ain't buried inside the golden mythological rainbow. See, we spend all this time trying to impress an enemy. Reject what we know is reality. Take a look and you will see. I am cursed with this vision brought about by this American tradition, so-called society. And yes, I am insane. Never been kicked out of be insane. So tell me what you think. And they call this a humble nation. The same nation where you can be a moving target the first time you open your mouth and speak the words of a reality that they're not trying to sell you through TV. When you decide to tell people to believe in themselves and to no longer believe in the image which lies before their vision, branded on poster boards filled with endorsements, hanging above the shelves in the store where cosmetic sold awards to somehow beautify a woman's soul, enhance her already marvelous features and add security in a world where all she may feel is uncertainty while she tries to battle everyday insecurities that stab her like daggers, and she cries for help while a so-called soulmate observes different constellations drifting in the galaxy. He's given her no breath to breathe, no dream to believe, no space to see, and he turns malicious in his ways the day she walks away, exhales, follows dreams, and redeems herself from being his queen, which through his definition was his fiend, as she wipes away that mascara clean, cause the mask no longer scares her, and she redefines herself as her own star, now shining brighter than ever before. No longer is whore behind locked bedroom doors, now she explores my words and finds hope, the kind of hope traveling back in time in form of a giant pair of scissors clipping ropes that once swung the bodies from witch hunts, racism, and the powers of supremacy. It's time for us to break free, take these coins jingling in our pockets and place them all in the hands of a man who hasn't had the chance to eat in a week. Just like those two teens behind the building next to the trash heap. Puff, puff, pass. Puff, puff, pass. Puff, puff, pass. Keep the cycle revolving, evolving into a new breed that believes in planting the seeds, having roots connect every family's tree, cause we're all in one way, one giant family. Each and every offspring learn how to sing freedom songs, no longer mimic club hits talking about gangster shit and thongs. Lead yourself away from the temptations of Babylon, free yourself and find your inner Zion. Leave this humble nation, take a time out and travel routes directed to the state of mind. Thoughts build dreams, dreams slip into reality. Stop screaming in greed, throwing every last dollar to the bottle of the lottery. Set free, and if you got any kind of job, hold on and learn how to spend your earnings just a little more wisely. Stop dressing up so pricely, and if you want to impress a person and not an object, show them your self-respect. Allow them to witness your determination in full effect. Watch souls connect and relationships last past death. Lay the nonsense to rest. Reinvest in the art of communication and compassion, everlasting without following financial existence guidelines. Open your eyes to these new times yet to be born. Close the hurt-producing cries of victims from senseless wars. Absorb the source of living. Expose the very meaning to live on the grounds of this so-called humble nation, which is in reality an unjust mediocre imitation, where one group's views have birthed limitations on how far we can actually go. This is the same nation that has created their own holy grail in form of fabric, and anyone defying its existence or showing it the least bit of resistance is usually wiped out in an instance of forced to take their true messages underground and hope the sound of their voice will be heard by the right ears of enough people willing to change in their old chains for new ways. These days are told to be the last, but if we think fast, we can travel past the last moment in time. I'm persuaded to skip a beat and open your eyes just a little more wide to help you really see. A friend showed me the Nike logo upside down on a box of cigarettes. Now, the clothing line and the box both share the same time to advertise. See, Nike in some other language means victory, and with the symbol upside down, wouldn't that mean defeat? And the bars, where we drink what we get hooked on, and the bars some of us have been thrown behind, and the bars known as stripes on that symbolic flag of fabric, man is playing God. So how you gonna go buy this society? You cannot buy the society, but by coming together, each and every one of us, I know right now it's a far-fetched dream, we could overtake it easily, and most important, peacefully. I'm praying for there to be no more casualties. I mean, how could we serve a one-sided government that invaded the Middle East, and once they retaliated, we labeled them as the black sheep, and yes, it was a tragedy, but if we decide to charge them for that tragedy, in a land of equality, wouldn't we have to charge Bush and his dad for all the travesties that they created? Wouldn't we have to charge our local news stations for misleading us with footage aired on the morning of September 2001, which was the same aired a decade back during Desert Storm? And I'm going on and on like I always do. But people, we need to step back from our own disillusioned ways of thinking and look at the entire picture in full clarity. This ain't no political poem. This ain't no anti-American poem. This is a poem that could bring about awareness to those walking around like hypnotized sheep herded into slaughter. This is a poem that I hope may one day do its part and awake the sleeping mind to these times that no longer bother to think. This is not a political poem, but a poem of awareness.
This is not a political poem, but a poem of awareness. This is not a political poem, but a poem of awareness. This is not a political poem, but a poem of awareness. And they call this a combination. Settle for no imitation. Reach higher than those set limitations. Learn to see in full clarity. Peace.
Every time I'm inside of you, I'm trying to push deep enough to touch your soul. Become one with your thoughts, share each beat of your heart, love you like no one else ever has. Every kiss delicate, fine-tipped with the right dose of passion. Proving my love, licking your lips, sucking you, French kissing between your thighs while staring deep into your eyes. I want my touch to be the last you will feel of the night and first before morning's light. And my thrust to be that liberating lullaby, freeing you through dreams where it seems neither have left. Just call me the sniper who targets bad sex, conjuring orgasms, I resurrect back spasms, fucking you while at the same time making love to your mind. Each and every thrust will put a new shine on your spirits. Call my name, ask for more, let me hear it. I'll go for days non-stop to thrive any hunger and feed you more, until you have truly absorbed complete satisfaction, physically and mentally. Your mentality, my valley, I walk, brushing feet against your thoughts, avoiding the wrong spots, wish to be forgot. I make you evolve from smooth player to the woman saying a prayer, asking for this to last forever, together, never once ever. I want you to be with me completely. I grow gradually in terms of salary, but just carry faith in me, my queen. I'll treat you the way your voice deserves to be treated. I've defeated all doubts, walked with you in public proud, to call you my friend, companion, Oscar to Ralph Crandon, lover under or over the cover, she who recovered me, saving me from being consumed by the disease known as heartless masculinity. Cause now I see what I once had a dream of became real love. I have something to say. Did I say it today? Or do you want to just hear it one more time? Hear it one more time? Alright. I love you. I'll say it again, announcing to the heavens, bouncing on circular winds, is been to blend repetitious patterns, greater every time revolved, all problems solved, just by thinking of the other, you I love, yes, Lord, I love her. Have I finally discovered the abbreviation for girl, G-I-R-L, cause her gift is really love, I repeat, her gift is really love, yes, you, my sandwoman, sprinkling me in sleep with dreams to reach the consciousness of reality. You say you need me, I say I need you all, heartless, thankless games are through. I have found I am one, you are one, and that makes two truly formed by one. Yes, we have won, all uncertainty undone. My key frees moons and suns from ever being separated. I see stars throughout the days and suns of midnight. Clock strikes, but time is on our side, cause it speeds up the process to see you again. It feels you never left. Every time together, time resets. Every time the first time, for it's always a special, and always the last, for we share the same vessel. Until the end of time, it will always be you and I finally discovered the truth and reason of my very being, that is, being in love with you.